In this installment, we're going to be going over the NBA bets of the Saturday slate for February 24th. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to bring you the winning ingredients for our Saturday NBA slate. This is going to be our best bets video here for February 24th. Before we deep dive into that, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetShetsD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91. And don't forget about that Patreon. If you want the final plays for each and every day, if you want the NBA future bets, if you want the March Madness bets, all that's provided in the Patreon in that link down below. So sign up right now and don't miss out. Now, currently we are at 2,000 subscribers. Let's continue to push that number forward. If you're currently subscribed, continue to like and comment. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and smash that subscribe button right this second. Now let's get into this Saturday slate. For the Saturday slate benefit here, we only have a 3-game slate, so we're going to be very short and sweet on this video here. First up, we have the Orlando Magic going up against the Detroit Pistons. All right, Detroit Pistons are 8-47. Orlando are 31-25. We have a current line right now, minus 275 for the Magic on the money line. For the Pistons, a plus 230. The point spread is at a minus 6.5 on both sides, with the total at a 225. I understand both of these teams do not play much defense here, so I can see why you'd be looking at that 225. Cade Cunningham being back, that's going to bode well as well. Pushing towards that over. Bets, 91% of the bets on Orlando, 93% of the money, and we have 74% of the point spread bets, and then 66% of the money covering that minus 6.5, and the majority of the money is on that over as well. If we look at this previous matchup going down below here, they already faced twice already, and both of the times it went towards the under the 225, because that could be telling here. In both games, Orlando won by double digits. Okay, so that's going to bode well as well for the Magic to cover that spread. Just some numbers against the spread. Detroit is 12-14 at home against the spread, so under 500. And then the Orlando Magic, very impressive against the spread on the road, 19-11, and the Magic as favorites are 15-4 against the spread. So we're going to be smashing that minus 6.5 here, and this line is setting you up. I think it's going to go towards the over, despite the fact both of the first 2 games have gone towards the under. All right, let's move on to the next one. We have an in-division matchup, Atlantic Division matchup here between the Boston Celtics, who are 44-12, and the New York Knicks, who are 34-22. Playing in Madison Square Garden, the current line is a minus 275. If you want the money line of the Boston Celtics, a plus 220 on the Knicks on the money line there. The spread is at 6.5 on both sides. The over and under is at 223.5. This line is exactly the same as that Pistons and Magic game, which is very, very intriguing to see. Obviously, more of the money is going to be on that Pistons game there with the Magic. This one here, a little bit lower, 89% of the bets, 55% of the money on the Boston Celtics. For the money line, the point spread, 72% and 75% on Boston to cover, and majority of the money is going to be on the over at 223.5. The injuries for both teams, the Celtics are pretty much healthy. You're waiting on news for the Knicks about OG Anunoby and Julius Randle. Both of those guys are going to be out for a little bit, okay? Anunoby has been out for the past 2 weeks, and he's going to be a little bit longer. And same thing with Julius Randle with his injury. The first couple matchups, they already are down 3-0. against these Boston Celtics. They did play them tough in New York, and this game is in New York yet again. They only lost that game by 4 points. So you could see a competitive, feisty team here in the New York Knicks in the small slate here. You expect one of these teams, one of these dogs to fight. And I would put my money on the New York Knicks to fight that good fight. They have exceptional three-point shooting. Tom Thibodeau is a well-renowned defensive mastermind. So I'll be leaning more towards the under of the 223. And I like the point spread here of the plus 6.5 for the New York Knicks. Let's go on to the next game. Last but not least, we have the East versus West matchup here. Brooklyn Nets going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves here. Currently, Brooklyn Nets are 21-34. The Minnesota Timberwolves are 39-16. The line currently is at Brooklyn Nets, if you want them on the money line, plus 240. If you want the Minnesota Timberwolves, minus 300. Point spread is at a 7.5 on both sides, with the total at being a 216.5. I think that's kind of low for these two teams. Looking at the bets in the money, majority 90% on Minnesota. Point spread, majority over 70% on Minnesota to cover that 7.5, and majority on the over and unders at well over 80% on that 216.5. Okay, these teams already played each other, and you already have the Timberwolves are going to be on the second game of a back-to-back. Okay, so we'll see. Wait on news if anyone's going to sit out of that second game of the back-to-back. They might be taking the Brooklyn Nets a little bit lightly here. Just continue to watch the news. In that first matchup, it was a close game, but this was a different Nets team in January, 96 and 94. And now you have the Brooklyn Nets coming on the road against the top tier Western Conference team. If we're looking at against the spread numbers, okay, the Nets away against the spread are 9-16. The Nets as dogs are 14-21. Those are not good numbers there. Timberwolves aren't that much impressive, but they are over 500. Timberwolves at home are 13-10 against the spread, and as favorites, they're only 22-20. So they like to play with their food as well. We have a line that's moved up from 7.5 to 8.5 on most books. So people are hammering that spread right there. Could the Nets keep things close? They would need an outstanding performance from Cam Thomas and Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson knocking down that three-point ball. But that's going to be their only hope and prayer. My favorite bet might be just that over 216.5. If these threes get flowing in this particular game, it's going to be tough to score points in the paint against the Minnesota Timberwolves and their bigs. There's going to have to be a three-point contest. I'm going to lean towards the over of a 216.5, and I'm going to lean towards the Timberwolves to cover this 7.5 point spread. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Guys, if you want my premium bets, my final thoughts, my tier 1 options, sign up for the Patreon right now. That link is provided down below. Get you guys ready for March Madness. Get you guys ready for the NBA futures that we have as well. Who's going to be in the NBA Finals? I'm going to be posting that very, very soon. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. Peace out.